Today I'm going to share with you 15 points that I've implemented into my routine, which help me to be safer into the mountains. Whenever you're having your coffee in the morning, make sure you take the habit that you're going to be checking the avalanche report to know the evolution of the snowpack, but also the weather report. In Switzerland, I use SLF and then I mix Météo Suisse, snow forecast, maybe YR.NO sometimes, and I mix all this information and put it in my head before I go up. It's pretty easy in the morning to be thinking, oh, I might just ride the piste, and then all of a sudden you meet a friend and you end up riding a couloir. That happens to me all the time, so now I know there's powder, I take my AV gear no matter what. Turn on your transceiver at home when you dress up. Don't wait to be up in the mountains to turn it on because you might forget. And check the batteries every time. You need 70%, super important. So when you grab your board for the first time in the morning, always check all the screws and make sure that they're all tight and secure. And especially if you're going for a big tour out of the resort away from everything. How many times it has happened to me to reach the summit and losing one strap. So whenever you're going to be leaving the resort, it's always very important to be completely aware of rescue communication possibilities. Cell phone works, it's all good. If it doesn't work, radio networks work pretty well in some areas. If not, satellite phones are definitely the way to go. Always have the rescue number recorded into your mobile phone. So now we're at the top of the run. It's super important to check all of your friends' transceiver. It's pretty shocking how often it happens to have someone who forgot to turn on their transceiver or whose transceiver doesn't have batteries or doesn't work. It will happen to you a lot, so put that into your routine. Yes. At the top of your first line, if there is powder, don't forget to take out the Velcro, the safety for your ABS handle, and practice to know where it is. It's super important to, without thinking, being able to find your handle, because in the avalanche it's always tough. And super important for skiers and also for splitboarders in some situations. Remember that pole strap can block you completely from being able to grab your handle, so take them off. Whenever you're riding, and no matter what the conditions are, always force yourself to take the habit of stopping in a safe spot. So that could be under a cliff, that could be on a ridge, but surely not in the middle of a bowl. Whenever you're riding together, it's super important to keep under your radar all of your teammates at all times. So make sure whenever you stop at a safe point to regroup often and to make sure everyone is okay. When in the backcountry, avoid as much as possible riding on your own. It's important to remember that in the mountains, when things happen, your first chances of survival will come from your riding buddies, and that before rescue. So that relationship is key. Whether you're touring or riding, take the habit of leaving a lot of space between everyone, between each other. Whenever you have a good team of riding partners, try to develop a really good communication routine. Like as soon as I get into my safe spot, I'll be yelling a quick, okay, like in a pretty gentle way. But if something goes wrong, I'll be shouting, attention, 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 in a much more different tone. You need to develop your own as it suits you, but I really recommend the use of radios because it makes communication a lot more simple. It's super important to trust your guts and your feeling, and everyone else is in your group. So if you don't feel good, or if anyone else doesn't feel good, don't force them, you know, there's always tomorrow. Make sure that you always adjust the timing of your adventure with the seriousness and the remoteness of whatever you're going to be doing. A binding breaking, a little injury, a conditions change in the weather or in the snow, there are so many reasons which could make you take so much delay into your day. So if you don't have the margin, you may have to spend the night out there. And this is something which is critical and which must be avoided if it's not planned for. Make sure you pack into your backpack some extra water, some extra food, and an extra layer, so that if anything happens unexpected, you have a bit of margin in that sense too. Et voila! These are a lot of the little points that I put into my routine, and I hope that it inspires you to kind of create your own routine, adapt it to your own style, and reevaluate it regularly. But you will see that all these little points put together, even if they don't seem to be very important, will make a huge difference in the long run into your safety levels. Stay safe, ride hard, and have fun.